Hey everyone, it's DSP. Just wanted to give a very quick channel update here on what to expect coming up, and actually some reactions to this past weekend. It seems that the overwhelming amount of reaction to the stuff I put out this weekend was support and people enjoying it. Once again, John Rambo was over. He was able to play multiple games, including the Lost Planet 2 demo that was a co-op gameplay, also the Resident Evil 5 DLC, Desperate Escape, and we also went ahead and did a lot of Left 4 Dead, not Left 4 Dead, what am I talking about? A lot of Heavy Rain stuff. You know why? Because I got it confused, because remember they have that Hard Rain campaign in Left 4 Dead, so it was on my mind. But yeah, the Taxidermist DLC, which has the absolute most awesome and funny fucking thing I've ever seen in a video game in my entire life. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out the last part of the Taxidermist right now. I actually added it to my favorites. It's part 9. Check it out. You'll fucking laugh your ass off and cringe at the same time. It's so great. And then on top of that, you know, doing some of the alternate choices in I said it again. Left 4 Dead. I don't know, it's on the brain. Zombies on the brain. In Heavy Rain, the alternate choices, going back and redoing some of the things in the game. People really seem to enjoy it. People keep asking, I wish, you know, Rambo could be there for everything. Unfortunately, you know, we have lives, so yeah, he can't come over here every time I play a video game. But anyway, thanks for the positive feedback. Thank you. I did notice that actually in the past couple of weeks my subscribers have jumped. I mean, if you remember, just what was it, 2 weeks ago, I did a 50,000 subscribers thank you video. I'm already up to 53,000. So thank you again. I appreciate that. And now, as everyone knows, what was coming this week, tomorrow we'll be starting Final Fantasy XIII. From what I've seen, I did actually watch a couple reviews of the game. It seems the game is extremely linear. The combat is actually a lot more streamlined than it used to be in Final Fantasy games, so it might be a little bit quicker to get through battles. But at the same time, what every review basically says is the story is long and drawn out, and some of it can be really fucking boring. Some of the characters are really annoying. It really depends on how much you like that Japanese culture kind of a deal and the JRPG style. I personally like the JRPG style, but I don't necessarily like the crappy character design that they use in Final Fantasy games. I actually played some other games, like I thought Lost Odyssey was an excellent game. Unique characters. Actually, some characters were stolen blatantly from previous Final Fantasy games, but outside of that, some of the other characters were unique. Interesting stuff was going on there. In this case, I don't know how this game is going to go. However, as you probably heard, this game is extremely long. So I have to try to beat it. It's my goal. I have to try to beat Final Fantasy XIII, and I'm not talking about doing all the optional shit and all that. I mean just running straight through the standard story campaign. I have to beat it by next Tuesday, because next Tuesday God of War 3 comes out, and I definitely want to jump on that on the day it's released. So unfortunately, what that means is probably, you know, every night this week I'm going to be playing it for 2 to 3 hours, which I usually do with a new game anyway, but this weekend might be like fucking cram time. Like, I might have to play it a lot this weekend. Luckily, I had no plans. However, the bummer is, if this game isn't interesting to me, and I think it sucks, I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it. As you saw with Heavy Rain, I really enjoyed the game, and the playthrough was amazing. In this case, if I don't really like the game, I might not find a lot to say besides just making fun of it constantly, which can get old after a while. So we'll see what happens. Just like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be recording every battle. I might start out doing that and see how it goes. If it takes too fucking long or it gets boring, I might stop recording the battles. Maybe just as some people suggested, every time I fight a new enemy, I'll record that. Or every time I fight a new boss, I'll record that. But I won't necessarily be doing every fucking random encounter that there is in the game. But we're going to see. This is going to be an experiment. It's the first JRPG I'm going to be doing on YouTube. So we'll see how it goes. It might be great, and it might end up sucking balls. And if it sucks balls, I'm sorry, but fucking I'll just stop playing it. I mean, I'm not going to waste my time on a game where I don't feel that it warrants my time. And I've played some shitty games, but I went through with them because it was funny, because I tried to make it funny. But this is a game we know, from what we're being told, the minimum amount of time needed to invest in this game to beat it is around 35 to 40 hours, which is pretty much what it took me to beat Mass Effect 2. And as you saw with Mass Effect 2, it took me a full week to beat that game. So in this case, if I can't beat it by this weekend and I'm really having fucking boredom problems, I'm just gonna fucking burn the fucking thing. I don't take a shit on it. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll go from there. I did get the PS3 version of the game, just so you know. That's the one that I'm going to get, so that way I don't have to swap discs. However, I did hear there's all kinds of problems, just like there were with Metal Gear Solid 4, where, okay, you don't have to swap discs, but now you have to load individual chapters onto your fucking hard drive, which is ridiculous, in my opinion. You should just fucking load from the disc like everything else. You shouldn't have to load anything onto your hard drive, but we know what happens with PlayStation 3, so we'll see what happens. We'll go from there. I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of not. I really like the production values that I've seen in this game. It looks amazing, but this kind of, to me, is like the Avatar of video games. Graphics are amazing, new technology is going to look great, but when you get to the meat of it, the story really isn't that interesting. The characters really aren't that interesting. You're more there just to have a good time, and let's face it, Avatar was only good because it was, what, 2.5 hours long? You know, you sat there, you had fun, you left. If you had to watch 40 fucking hours of Avatar, you'd probably be gouging your fucking eyes out after hour 4. This, I don't know if it's going to be that situation. I'm hoping at least there's some characters that I can latch onto and I like. If not, we'll see what happens. So anyway, big experiment starts tomorrow. Unfortunately, because of this, I'm going to be busy tonight. I'm not going to be able to play the Just Cause 2 demo like I wanted to. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to play it. I might get to play it at a later date, but for now, unfortunately, that's kind of shot. So, this is DSP. We'll see what happens. Final Fantasy XIII could be great, could suck balls. We'll have to just see what I can make of it and go from there. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the beginning of that.